looks so though? Oh, the party looks so. Oh, stand up. I can't hear my song. I can't hear. I came equipped with my wings because today we are going live. How to stay this morning? Oh, no, sound good. Are you ready to emerge? Are you ready to emerge? Oh, that sounds better. Oh, no, look beautiful though. All right, you can sit down now. Oh my goodness, let me tell you, the only reason I am not crying right now is because I'm vain and my eyelashes will drop off. So guys, we're here. We're ready to emerge. We are ready to emerge. This is a dream come true. We're going to take you through our dream today so that you can see your own dreams come true. I'm going to be talking about the business of you because today, only you matters. Anybody have children? That's nice. Anybody don't? Yes. That's very nice. Today, only you matters though. When you turn down on a phone, the only reason you're going to have it on is to take a picture of me. All my pictures look like this. So, the gentlemen in the house, a big up to you guys. You know, everybody's saying all of these events are for women. And we have an event and we're like, everybody must come. And it's great to see you all here. So you never woke up this morning to be mediocre. You woke up this morning to do what? No, listen. You woke up this morning to do what? Emerge. You wake up this morning for the what? Emerge. So we're ready to emerge. Oh, yeah. So this is not my kind of hour in the day. And I wake up this morning from about 5:30. So understand that. I have to be ready to emerge today. Coming normally not out till about 10 o'clock. I see some of my team members here and they know when I come in the morning, I'm like, Ryan, how are you doing? Bring my coffee, come. Yeah. So, the thing about mediocrity is it's a very easy place to fall into because it's a nice and comfortable place. And many of us, we feel this discomfort and we're ready to move to the next level because we just keep doing the same thing all the time. I want me to press one again. So today we're going to be talking about getting unstuck, moving beyond mediocrity. So let me tell you a quick story. In early January, I met up with Naomi and Catherine. Now, this kind of conference and summit is something I've always dreamed of doing. And I had a whole blueprint for it, but I was kind of doing it on my own. So Catherine, who is a bully, just called us together and said, we're going to meet by your house. How are we going to plan something? And why are we doing all of this? Because we recognize that many times we pump people up, we get inspired and stuff. And when you leave the event and you walk out and you're like, yo, the world is mine. It is my oyster. I love my life. And you go out on Knutsford Boulevard, a madman cross the road, and you're like, madman, come out on the road. And you're like, I don't feel so mindful right now. What's wrong with me? By you reach home, the pitney them take the whole of the cereal where you leave for them and them spread it out on the ground. Eh? Your husband come in, he just put up him foot and couldn't put on little white rice. We eat with little bully beef. So by the time you reach home, you're just like, I really don't like my life that much today. But you say tomorrow, I'm back. Yeah. But those vagrancies of life are very important. because they remind us that we have to get back to the center of where we want to grow and where we want to go. And the amazing thing is that deep down inside, you know that unfulfilled place and dream, that thing that you've always, it just keeps bubbling up. That thing that you really want to get done, but you know what too? You're kind of afraid. So I was a little afraid to put on anything because suppose nobody no come. Because you know there's nothing like nobody no come. Thank you all for coming. Okay. So we met. I was speaking at JMMB's Elevate, and we're like, we're just going to say that we're doing it March 2nd. Now, everybody who knows me know that I don't do nothing spontaneous. My makeup not spontaneous, my lash not spontaneous, nothing is spontaneous. I have a checklist for everything. Eating, sleeping, breathing. I've got a checklist. But you know what, guys? Sometimes you have to invite into your space additional energy that God puts there for you. Some additional energy that will take you out of that place where you doubt yourself, where you think you can't move, and you have to open the dream and invite other dream into that space. And that's how we're emerging. So becoming the CEO of your life. Who is currently in charge of their life? It's a lot of people. Go next. Janice's like, I want to think so. There are some days. Yeah. But truthfully, a lot of times when you think about your life, you say to yourself, really, your boss is the CEO of your life. Some of you are kids, because you know, nowadays we're really in love with our children. You know that. We take 700 pictures of them and show people. They don't really want to see them. And then you post them. Let me give you a quick joke. I want you to watch something. You see when people post a picture and them notice nobody not like it, then post a cute picture of their child. And you know you have to go like, oh, cute pic, oh, adorbs. And they're like, gotcha. Sorry, moms. So today, we're handing back the reins to ourselves. Because truthfully, we are of no value to people when we are not our best self. Now, this best self that I'm talking about, because you know sometimes we see some people living some lives that it looks like it's such a best self. And you're like, how do you look so fulfilled? Today, though, we're going to turn off from people's Instagram posts. Because remember, we only post pretty pictures. I never post a picture when me just wake it. Because my face crush. Me have to iron my face before me come out of my time. You know what I'm saying? So nobody posts how they really are. You know? Nobody posts when they're in debt. Hashtag in debt. Hashtag credit card maxed out. Living my best life. No. So today we're going to focus on hashtag just my life. We're just going to focus on a space that we're not looking for any likes. The only affirmation we're looking for is our self-affirmation today. Now, as a CEO, when you're doing a strategic review, there are a couple of things that you start looking at. So today we're going to look at our lives like a business. The first thing is to look at the big picture. So imagine you just get a big work as a CEO of a company. You come in that first work day, and you're looking just holistically at the organization. This organization, however, is you. I'm going to turn to the first page in it. Could you just write a note beside my picture? Gal, you stay good. Thank you. Appreciate it. Write it fast. Exclamation, double entendre. So we're going to start with just a review of the things that we're satisfied with. Now I want you to just think about your own life. And notice not what I'm ecstatic about. What am I satisfied with? Ask yourself that question. Now, some of you will have 3 things to write. Some of you have 10. Some of you have not thought of 1 thing. Let me give you 1 thing. I woke up this morning. Because every morning that you wake up, you have a hope and an opportunity to completely redefine and reset your future. So you got up this morning. Whoever work, you may not love it, your worst not love your boss, but you have a work, don't? Some of the bills pay, not all of them. So, some of them pay. All right. So you're satisfied with your ability to pay the important bills. Now we're going through this process because sometimes we are so good at pulling apart everything that is wrong that we can't even find some of the positives in even some of the little things. Your car start this morning, so you're able to get here. Some of you sacrificed very hard for this ticket today. And I'm satisfied for you that you have made a decision to change your life. So you've taken a first step. Write that down. I've taken a first step. What are you not satisfied with though? And this we're good at. My body, because I did really plan in a January, so I was going to go to the gym every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday afternoon. And I have been to the gym 0 times, but it's really because of my children, because they're wicked. Every day they're hungry. It's actually my husband that caused it, because every morning they want breakfast. Yeah, it's all of these things. Yeah. Right now, if you're not satisfied with the efforts you have made for your health, please indicate this. Today we're going to be talking about wealth a lot. And how do we get out of debt? Some of us are not satisfied with our current debt ratio because it's very deadly. Poor house. Now, we get in debt not because of somebody. Debt is a choice. And it's a big choice that we make, and it's a very difficult place to come out of. But if you're not satisfied with your debt position, write that down. Are you satisfied with your job? Now, if the person who pays you is here, please write it in code. So you're going to write, not satisfied with my BOJ. Okay? All right. What are you most proud of? And I just want you to write the thing that comes first to your head. What are you most proud of? How many of you wrote something that you're proud of that thing only has to do with you? How many of you wrote your children? How many of you wrote the business that you're involved in?
I need a book. Don't worry.
Now, around this room, and I want you guys to pay attention to the people in this room, because a lot of the people in this room will become your customers in the future. A lot of people in this room will become your network. And we're going to be talking today about how we're building our network. Now, the last thing, where have I dropped the ball? So let me give you a quick story about where I dropped the ball. So, from my born till now, I wanted to be a lawyer. Me. In fact, I just wanted to be Chief Justice of Jamaica because I wanted to wear the long flowing robe and the wig and take my picture. And when the opportunity came up for me at Cable and Wireless to work in corporate law, I hadn't studied any corporate law courses because I didn't like corporate law. I just wanted to do criminal law and just open up my hand and say guilty, those things. Hence. So, when that job came up and I got the job, I actually wondered why they hired me because I had no experience in corporate law. And I took the job. I thoroughly enjoyed it for years. And then I got to about year 12, and I got very uncomfortable, and I wasn't sure why. Now, do you know what passion and purpose is? You know, passion, those things that when you wake up in the morning, it doesn't feel like work, when you can't wait to get started at it. And there's something that makes you feel like you're cheating when you get to do the thing that you wanted to do, and you find that thing is still not enough. So you start putting a lot more effort into it. Maybe I should study it more and do more of it. And you put so much effort into it. And you're still not feeling fulfilled. And you almost get to a place where you don't even want to look at yourself. Because you know that you are not living who you really should be. And then you pray about it. And I'm going to talk a lot about prayer. I hope I don't make anybody too uncomfortable. And I asked for a role that would give me a chance to live my purpose. And when the opportunity came up, you know what I said? Not thank you, Jesus. I said, I can't do this. I'm not ready for this. Because this means that I'm going to be cheating on the thing that I've only wanted to do. But then when you realize that you can't get away from this thing, this passion, this purpose. And what is my passion? People. Just dealing with people. Developing people. And does that mean that I can't do law anymore? So one of the things that I realized that I was doing is that I was dropping the ball on my passion. I was burying it, and I started even moving away from speaking because it would mean that I was actually giving in to this thing that I knew I really wanted to do. Anybody know that feeling? Where you know, say, in your belly bottom. You know when gas take you? You know that gas there? Belly bottom gas. Where you have to beat your chest. Because you know everything happen. Beat with chest. You know when that bubbling in your stomach and you know that this life I'm currently living is not enough. And I need something more. But if I do something more, it means I'm going to have to step out of this space. And it means that I'm going to have to take the risk that I could fail miserably. I could fail, you know. And I could fail publicly. And then you start make up the excuses you're going to say to people if you fail. But you know the failure is when you sit down with that bubble of gas for your purpose and you not belch it out. That is failing. Now you owe it to yourself to make it bubble up. In Roland? Ask yourself, what do I bring to the table? Now, when you're bringing something to the table, I don't want you to say that you got a computer science degree with first class honors. That's not, and everybody have a degree now. Yeah. Anybody did an MBA? I did one too. Anybody remember anything they learned from it? Anybody swatted their way through? Now, what you bring to the table, you bring your passion, you bring your purpose, you bring a great attitude, you bring your positivity, you bring your creativity, you bring your vibes. Because guess what, people? People don't buy a product, they buy a person. People don't hire a degree, they hire attitude. That's what they do. Yeah. And people don't make friends with your Louboutins. It's with you. Okay? So we get a little confused sometimes with what we bring to the table. You know, there's some people who are just amazing at organizing chaos. You know those people? So the project is going on. Where's Keisha Brown? Now, Keisha Brown is amazing at organizing chaos. So the chaos in our head that was emerged, as we're trying to give it birth and put it out, and Keisha takes on the role as our project manager. Now, let me tell you, there's a certain calm that takes to deal with us. There's a certain direct, meticulous behavior that it takes. And it also takes a person who is not murderous. Because I know that I would have tell the whole of them off and gone about my business long time. But that's what Keisha brings to the table. You see something called calm, a calm energy. And sometimes we take these amazing skills and talents that we have, and we say that that is not a big deal because somebody else have a PhD. PJ Wright is here today, and he's going to be telling us about his journey. Now, you see those people who can see an opportunity and just step boldly into it. No life jacket, no backup plan, just try a thing. That is a talent and a skill set. Now, one of the things you have to ask yourself, do I have any of these things, but I am just so terrified of moving from the comfort of my pillow zone that I will not step out and try anything. But you have to ask yourself, what do I really bring to the table? What does my family always call on me for? Who are the people in the family that is going to plan every function? Huh? Like nothing happens if you're not there. Funeral, wedding, birthday. You wonder if the people them who have the birthday never know say for them birthday. Who they call on to cry with? Because that's a talent, you know. There's a certain empathy. Those people that you call and you say nothing, and they know to say nothing back. That's a talent. Now, I say these things because when we're in organizations, we don't recognize that we bring the whole person to work. We bring the whole person to our business. So at home, we're the person who organizes everything, and nobody in your workplace ever knows that. Till one day there's a function and you organize it, and everybody's like, you can plan function? So the whole of the time we there plan function, they couldn't say nothing. No, me never want to say nothing because me soon not planning no function. I mean, I really want to plan no function. And nobody never asked me nothing. But you know the attitude there. If one did ask me, nobody never asked me nothing. But if one did ask me, would I tell you no? How about not waiting for anybody to ask you? Because you know what we're afraid of, that you may say, you may put yourself forward, and they say they don't want you on the project. So what? That's their loss. Yeah. We're so concerned about people's acceptance and liking of us. You know, if we like ourselves enough and accept ourselves enough, we don't see it as rejection. We see it just that you just don't know the talent and skill you have around you. And guess what? Me still I got join your planning team. Wednesday, 3 o'clock at me that, we were just squeezing right here. But we're so afraid and we want people to herald the angels. Michelle, please join us on this project. It ain't gonna happen. You know that the businesses that succeed, most business people you talk to, them did feel like 12, 15, 100 times before they get off the ground, but they don't see it as failure. They see every single opportunity as a chance to grow and learn. Now, you're in your organization and you're wondering why you cannot move from that desk that you're currently at. Nobody even has one iota of an idea that you have any other skill set than accounting. Nobody don't know. And you know what happens to you after a while? You stop bringing anything to the table, and you're only eating from the table. Is someone just leaving with that? You're only eating from the table. Now, your first day on the job as CEO, you're thinking about the mission of the business, the pillars for delivery, purpose, values. And you ask yourself, what are we going to consider for this business? Now, ask yourself in your own life, is my personal growth important to me? And when we talk about growth, do I need to be learning more? Do I need to go and do a new degree? You know, there's nothing as scary as doing a degree in business, for example, and realizing you're not interested in business. Yeah. And you actually need to go and do a whole other degree. And you start to say to yourself, me too old now. You know that way. Yeah, or the penny them at the pep. CSEC. So there's no way I can do that. You know, we have a way of aging ourselves out of our purpose. So we say to ourselves, apparently purpose only happens in your 20s. And you may get it up to 35. But God forbid you're 36. I don't have that problem because I'm 27. So God forbid you reach 36. You're done for. You're ready for dead. And you know how the farms will have like 20 to 29? And then they have like 45 and over. Like 45 and dead. And you start believing that. So we start saying to ourselves that there is a cutoff age for living purpose. There is no cutoff age unless you have set it. So growth may be for you education. Growth may be that the very job that you're in, hi Chris, you're going to add some responsibilities to that role. Are you willing to not be paid for those additional responsibilities? Suppose you have to take a lateral role to grow. But you know, sometimes you have to take a lateral role to grow. And let me tell you, see, when you take a lateral role, you have some people in the organization that say to you, oh my God, how are you doing, boss? They demote you? And you know that you start go to the bathroom and cry, the man them walk out to them car in the day and them say, where am I going to listen to Rochelle for? I'm going to take the lateral role here. Huh? Now, let me tell you something. To be able to walk through a door, sometimes you have to take a side door. You have to. To be able to walk through a door, sometimes you have to clear out of that building there. Completely. And you have to trust that your purpose will and shall be fulfilled. Ask yourself, what does growth look like for me? Write it down. Now, another area that we need to look at is profitability. So in the same way with an organization, we look at the profitability of it. We have to look at the current profitability of our operations. And some of us are running at a zero profitability level. In fact, we are currently constantly in the red. Yeah. Now, what does a profitable life look like for you? You're not going to get it, and we're going to have Naja Peterkin today from NCB, Capital Markets, and she's going to be talking to us about wealth building. Now, one of the things is that you're not going to get there if you have no idea, no definition of it. Now, for some people, the definition is an amount. I like to put the amount that I'm aiming for in US dollars, especially with the fluctuation of the dollar. I like to put it in US dollars. Yeah? Some people like to put it in the amount of investment they have. Some people may say the amount of real estate they have, but everybody has to have their way, and Naja is going to give us some better ways of doing it. Now, because me not bright like Naja, me take a very simplistic approach. Now, me love to tithe at church. Yeah. So me write how much money me I got tithe, because it's 10% of what my gross is. So my church supposed to rich when me get the money there. And I'm constantly aiming for that space. Now, what does your profitability level look like for you? You know that there's some people amongst us who have no debt. Their car may not be as nice as your car. In fact, their car makes a lot of noise when it starts. But let me tell you, they've got zero debt. And they laugh differently. Their laugh is a light laugh. A death laugh, because you're gasping for air. Okay? So Naja is going to talk to us about profitability. Now, who are the people that you currently have in this business of your life. Now I want you to turn in the workbook because there are a couple of things, names that I want you to put in there. And I want you to ask yourself, who is currently costing me and failing to deliver? You know those people who cost you your time, your energy, your brain waves, and you really dislike them, but you have to have drinks with them every Friday. You know them. They drain your very existence. Yeah, man. Who do you go to for feedback? Just write a name. If you don't have a name, think about it. Now, in an organization, as in your life, you're going to need different skill sets. You need the people who are your eyes and your ears, who hear on your behalf, who see the potential in you that you refuse to see. You have to have those people. You have to have the people in your life who provide the strength, who provide the comfort, who provide the hard conversation. The people that you're willing to trust, that when they're giving you the hard conversation, you know it's only coming from a great place. Do you have those people in your life? Do you accept their feedback? Sometimes. Now look at this quote. Be around the light bringers, the magic makers, the world shifters, the game shakers. They challenge you, break you open, uplift, and expand you. They don't let you play small with your life. These heartbeats are your people. These people are your tribe. Now, your tribe also needs to include people who are not necessarily your best friend. You know that sometimes we get and do the best work with people who are not our friends. And we continue to believe that our tribe is only these people that we went to prep school and high school and primary school with. Your tribe is going to grow as you go along. And that network of influence, that circle of influence, and the circle of influence are not people that you always got on the weekend when you go North Coast on the weekend with. They may never have come to your child's christening, but these are the people that you can go to for financial advice. When you're changing a job, you can go to them and sit down with your CV, and they can give you a business-like conversation. You must have those people in your life. Everybody does not have to be your friend, one. And two, it's very important that sometimes you have to recognize that you don't even like those people, but they're good for you. Now you're going to hear all the speakers ask about your give back. You're never really fulfilled if you're not giving it back, if you're not sharing. Now in your organization, give back is not only signing up for when there's like the Sigma run, when you're running for a cause, or you got a 1 and 2 children's home. Give back is giving back of your time. And your time in give back may be that you help somebody on a project. You know, a big give back is when it's not your deadline, but you make it your deadline because somebody else's job, it matters in their work. You know, give back is sometimes just a conversation with somebody. But what do you do in your spare time other than complain? Now, I did a little thing the other day where I set on my phone to see how much screen time I spent on my phone. Because I love, I love criticize people and say, come and stay so. I don't criticize myself first. I criticize others. And I said, people spend so much time on Instagram and social media and those things and so much screen time and they're not spending enough time talking to people. So I did a little experiment with myself to see how much screen time. My shame. No, apparently I spend a lot of time looking down on my screen. So I said to myself, the time that I'm looking down on my screen, it means that I'm actually not paying attention to what's going on around me. So I actually stopped, and for a week, I limited the amount of screen time. And in that week, I recognized some people that were actually going through things, but I was actually paying attention to them. I actually heard with different ears. Because when you're in a meeting and you're actually checking your Instagram secretly, because we do that, But we look busy. Watch we now. Let me answer this one. Nice pick. You know, you lose half of the meeting. You waste other people's time because you actually didn't even take your action items. Now, there's something amazing about turning off your phone and paying attention for the half an hour that you're there. You actually cut down time for everybody else. So you stop wasting people's time asking them what was just said and asking them to repeat because you missed 15 minutes secretly watching a video. See how much screen time you spend. And the time that you're screen timing, how much business opportunities or how much things are passing you by right in front of your eyes. Amazing, eh? Now, the competitive forces. Now, when you think of competitive forces, you think of the other people like, I see Simone Banyan, the other people that sell those kind of small bites and stuff. You're thinking of those competitive things as a business. But in the business of your life, those are not the things that are the competitive drivers, you know. You see, fear stops you from doing everything. And fear is easy, and it's a nice place to be. Fear makes you comfortable. Yeah, man. Fear makes everything easy, you know. Because you're just like, I'm going to die. If I do this, I'm going to die. Worse yet, if I do this, people are going to laugh after me. And if I do this, my friend's going to lose complete faith in me. And you know those people who are extremely bright? Anybody in here extremely bright other than me? Yeah, you know those people like that have, me not bright like that, someone put on my hand, that have some like super degrees, big degrees that you can't pronounce, econometrics and those things. If them ever say to anybody that they want to do art, hear the bodies now? Oh, nice. In the night. You're going to do art in the night, not in the daytime. As a hobby. And many people cannot move the thing that really drives them into their life's purpose because they're so afraid that everybody's going to say, you have wasted my time and my money. You have failed me. Now, one of the things that I always say with creatives, especially creatives who started out like as computer scientists and stuff, can you imagine if you are creative with a background in economics, so you actually know how to calculate your bill them good? Huh? Can you imagine? But we always like to see ourselves in a siloed space. So as a lawyer, and nowadays I actually introduce myself as a speaker, as a lawyer, because people make certain decisions about lawyers. We're boring. We only wear black. We're serious. The one I like is we're bright. I use that one a lot. The people who are accountants, I emceed an accounting function, and the accountants were saying to me that they wanted to get past the place where everybody thinks accountants are boring. Hear me to my judgmental self, no? But you know, our judgmental self of the things that we don't do is because nobody else hasn't judged us, you know, but that's how we would have judged somebody else. Remember, people, if nothing else today, Jesus is not hiring. He does not need any additional judges. Okay? Ask yourself today, if I was not so fearful of my very shadow, what amazing things could I do? If I was not so willing to doubt every capability that I have, what would I do? What is that? Bad mind, red eye, envy. If I did not spend so much time focusing on everybody else's triumph, what could I do? If I was not so ashamed of things that nobody knows about, if I never lived so far back into the past and thought about the CXCs that I don't have. And you know, sometimes too, you know, CXC, who did CSEC in here? Please don't put up your hand. You did CSEC? Oh my God. Me too, guys. Yeah. Who did CXC? Old people. Okay, us who did CSEC. You know how much people living, how much CXC they had? Like they're living amazing lives and they have big jobs and they're like, I had 3 CXCs. If you tell people, so you're not going to do it if you have 3 CXC, you can turn big smarty too. How many people, you know how many people have no degree? And they refuse to be able to say no. Can you imagine you are a successful person and you can say that I was still able to do this without a degree? Because your story is such an important way of sharing your life. Unforgiveness. We have up too much people. But you know who we don't forgive? We don't start with forgiving ourselves. Procrastination. You know procrastination? I hate this one though. Because it just feels so, am I really procrastinating? I just don't have time to do it today. So you know what else is the thief of time? Good old-fashioned lazy. So we're going to do a quick SWOG analysis. Now the SWOG analysis looks at a couple of things. We're going to start with your strengths. Now your strengths are your promoters or your enablers. Now your strengths are your experience, your knowledge, your unique characteristics, the resources that you have, geographical advantage, your competence, your capabilities, your quality, your reputation, your very family. Because you know having a strong family support is a key strength in anything that you're doing. Now, when you're thinking of your strengths and your unique characteristics, that's why I asked you earlier, what are you proud of? Because these are some of the things that come under your strengths. Now, what are your weaknesses? Your weaknesses, your disadvantages, the barriers, the inhibitors. Now, this may be limited access to resources. It may be the debt that you're currently in. Gap in experience and in knowledge because you actually need to go and get some more training. Now, when I talk about training, people said to things like, well, when I can't do it now, I don't have the money to pay for education now. The good thing now with the internet is that we don't have any excuse, you know, because things are free. I remember when I did my MBA, I had just bought my first apartment. And I bought the apartment in the December. And in January, I just get up and say, I'm going to do an MBA. So I did just get the mortgage. And with the current mortgage, it meant that I was eating a lot of rich protein sardine and rice. But sardine is rich in vitamins and minerals. Sometimes I had to go by my auntie's house to get some food and those things. And I get up in January and say that I'm going to do a master's. Now I'm sharing this story with you because you know sometimes, guys, you know when people talk about intention, do you know if you set an intention in a way, not that I would like to do an MBA, not that I would like to own a home, but I am going to graduate with my MBA in June of, and you state the date. That is an intention. An intention is not I would like. The house that you plan to live in, the intention is I am going to live on this road in this house with a number of bedrooms and I'm going to have 3 Rottweiler. And let me tell you, some of you, you know, when you hear them something there, you say, what kind of hocus pocus foolishness there? There's something that happens when you're able to clearly set out an intention. When you look behind and you throw away the weaknesses, you forget them for a moment, and you say to yourself, this is the possibility if I am to focus and wring out my strengths. Now, in the SWOG analysis, we have to look at what your advantages are. The spin-off of achieving success. Now, this may include a second source of income. It may include increased salary, a salary change, a promotion, a new job, a new career, fearless confidence. And you know what I forgot to put there? A headshot for when your profile is being read as you have to tell your story. Do you know that I wrote my profile about 10 years ago? And the first profile that I wrote, I was very, you know, when you write your profile, it feels enough. Because by the way, guys, when you hear people's profile, they wrote it themselves. They're like, I'm so awesome and bright, and I'm so well accomplished, but they write it in the third person. Miss Cameron is so well accomplished and bright and stuff, but I wrote it myself. Now, after a while, you start believing it too. But I gave my profile to a friend of mine, I don't know if she's here, Abaddon Hunter, to rewrite for me. And when she wrote the first version, I started crying, and I said, I can't use this because it sounds too much. But she's like, I took this information off of your CV. And I was like, yeah, but I don't want anybody to know this. It sounds too much. Do you know what playing small does? It makes everybody else feel small. Now think of when you go to functions and stuff, or when you read about people and you meet people. You say to yourself, this can be me. It is possible. So a part of you sharing your life and sharing your story is that you're giving other people permission to thrive and grow. So forget you with it. Get over yourself. It's not about you. So you also have a duty to share that it can be done. And that success is not a little ball of things in a bottle. Mm-hmm. It is overflowing, and there's enough for everybody. The G is the gremlins. You know those threats? You know that your family can actually be a threat because you are so afraid either what your family will do or say, or you actually make your family a barrier. Because we blame children for everything. The reason we have not moved is because of our children. Yeah. Competition. The only person you need to compete with is who? You really believe that though? No. I remember with Bad Mind and Red Eye. So we actually believe that the other person's success means that we cannot achieve it. Another person living their dream has absolutely nothing to do with you. What's your dream? What's your dream? So if your only competition is you, then this shouldn't be under the gremlins. Now, some of the things we face job loss, we face redundancy. Anybody ever been fired? Or let go? No, there's nothing like, I remember when I resigned from Flow, and you know, you get the last letter from HR, and I thought they really liked me and stuff. And you know, you get the last letter where you must hand in all of the items, like say I go a prisoner or something. You know, I'm taking a computer. After they give me lifeblood to the water, don't think I'm going to hear me? And you know though, that sense of loss starts playing into your psyche. Your job is not who you are. Your job may be a means of fulfilling or pouring out who you are, but it's not who you are. So you have lost that job, but you have not lost you. And that's a place that you always have to remember. Now, illness. Now, illness is something that's outside of your control. And when you get a particular diagnosis of something, cancer, some kind of debilitating disease, and there's nothing like the idea of your own mortality. But I want you to think of illness as something different today. Today, without a diagnosis that says otherwise, you have the rest of your life to start right now. Can you imagine that? So 6 tips I'm going to leave with you to get unstuck. Look deep inside and find your purpose and passions and get over the fear of living them. You have to take massive action. Massive action. Now I want you to give yourself a round of applause because coming here today is massive action. Surround yourself with the movers and shakers. Look at the people that you have around you. Forget friendship. It's not about friendship right now. Who do you have around you to influence you? Create content. The more you speak about your passions is the more you give birth to them and people start feeding them. For us to be able to be here today, it meant that we had to be walking to NCB capital markets and telling them about our passion to get sponsorship. We had to be with the Jamaica Observer for them to share with our passion. Focus on helping others with your gifts. Invest in yourself and find somebody who has what you want and learn from them. Success in life comes when you simply refuse to give up with goals so strong that obstacles, failure, and loss only act as motivation. And I love this. I always remember, no matter what, I'm fearfully and wonderfully made. So I must make it. So, ladies and gentlemen, you are the CEO. And my thing for this year is that we do a thing we call power posing. I want everybody up on your feet because you are the CEO of your life. I want to stand up, shake it out. Shake off the Saturday blues. Stop thinking about the supermarket that you didn't go to. You in the back, everybody on their feet. Now, power posing. So we're going to have the whole of Jamaica power posing soon. Today we're going to do the superhero pose. You know it? Yeah. Oh yeah. Shake it out. Now there's a book by Amy Cudley. It's called Presence. All right? Because today we're going to be present and we're going to be showing the world our presence because we are the CEO of our lives. Now I want you to put your hand on your kimbo. Shake it out, because you know we're Jamaican. The original power pose is stand up straight, but we are yardie. And you know, say, we have to look mean. Now I want you to ground your feet. And I want you to put your hand on your kimbo. And you say, I am the CEO, of my life. Let me hear you. I am the CEO, of my life. And I have emerged. Me emerge! Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. You have emerged.